earlier we're talking about working with Melissa McCarthy. A lot of your projects have been made with her. You know, thinking about The Heat, Bridesmaids, Spy, Ghostbusters. You know, what is it about her that makes you want to work with her so much?
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, she and I never set out like, okay, we're going to do our next movie together. Like, it just happens because I'll have this script, you know, or it'll be a character, you know, or Katie Dippold was, you know, for The Heat, she wrote a script and we were doing it. And it's just, as I'm going through it, go like, you know, God, Melissa would be so good for this. We just have the same sense of humor, and we have the same
What do you
kind
mean?
of. It's well, you know, there's a million different senses of humor. Some people like something really broad. Some people like something really subtle. Some people like something dirty. Whatever. We are united in the fact that we like very character-based comedy in which the characters are real, but they can be pushed to the extreme.
Right.
And so that you can have these absurd type things happening, but you never don't believe it. And we guard each other on that. We're always testing each other on that of like, I don't know if they would do this. I don't know if they would do that. And sometimes we'll even try stuff, and then she knows enough to trust me enough that when we get in the editing room, I'm like, okay, that's too big. We're not going to believe it. Because I'm always trying to avoid that moment when an audience is sitting there and they go, oh, come on. Because then you lose the audience. And we see that happen in comedies all the time because they go like, well, we got this great joke. We got to keep this great joke. It's like, no, jettison the joke. If it hurts the reality and suddenly the audience goes like, well, why are they doing that? But it's a fine line you walk because if you set up a very extreme character, you know, we have friends who are nuts. But they're real. They're not pretending to be nuts. And occasionally, if you have a friend who you go like, "You're pretending to be nuts," and nobody wants to hang around with them, you know. So I just like that sort of extremeness in comedy.
It's funny that you mentioned, though, character-based, grounded in reality, but can be pushed to an extreme.
Yeah.
Not to be too on the nose here, but it very much describes why Melissa's been successful doing Sean Spicer, doing the
Totally.
White House press secretary.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think it is about? As someone, as we said earlier, when you watch Saturday Night Live, you can see things a little bit differently. What is it about her and that sketch that's getting all this attention, that's making her knock it out of the park?
You know what? That's a kind of a different thing because that's parodying somebody. There you go. Like I could have said a different
thanks
word.
a lot for coming in. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, it's great.
Yeah.
This was great, gang, everybody. No, that is the perfect example of. I've said this to Lauren, everybody. I said you hit the most cathartic comedy moment anybody could have hit ever because it was right when we were all just like feeling so powerless from this insanity that was going on with Trump and all this gang, and then that Spicer, you know, ridiculous press conference. And so we were just kind of, everybody was like, what do we do? What do we do? We know something's crazy. And her coming out and doing that, you just felt the whole country go like, oh, yes, because it just was pointing to the absurdity so much and then taking it to the next level. And that is a different kind of comedy because then even though there is, you know, you never don't believe that she is completely committed to being this person, but it just takes ridiculousness that they do and pushed it to the edge. And it was like this just collective breath of relief from the whole country when she did that.